Hey everybody, it's Vicky with Dementia with Grace. I hope y'all are doing great today. Today we are talking about the letter E in our ABCs of Dementia FAQs series. And E for us today stands for early signs of dementia. Early stages, early signs. What happens when the dementia is first rearing its ugly head? And we're going to talk about the things that professionals, professional researchers, other neurologists, all of those people see. And then we're going to talk about the things that I have seen in my practice. It's a little bit different. It's a lot the same, but I think that it's important that we watch for certain things. There are losses associated with normal aging, and that can be concerning sometimes because you're like, oh, what is it? Is it just normal aging, or is it a symptom, sign of dementia? So we're going to talk about those two things, okay? All right, let's get started. The number one thing that people associate with dementia is memory loss. And so a lot of people watch for memory loss, that they are forgetting certain things. People that they've known forever, they're forgetting their names, they forget things like that. That is absolutely common in the dementias, but it's usually not the first sign. The first sign of dementia is usually problem solving, not able to do something they've done forever, like cook something they've cooked forever, like the Thanksgiving dressing, or do something they've done forever, change the oil in the car, do their taxes, do their checkbook, things like that that just were rote, that they've been able to do with no issue, now becomes an issue. They are not paying the bills, or they're paying the bills twice. Something like that. And people are, picking up on things like that. It is misremembering, like where they lay their keys, things like that. But everybody does that, right? I mean, that can just be the product of a busy mind. But what is the difference between losing your keys, normal aging, and losing your keys, dementia aging, is losing your keys and being able to find them again, or losing the name of a person but eventually being able to come up with it. With dementia, you put the keys in a totally different place, like the refrigerator or the bread box, or in a totally different room. I mean, it's not like you came in and the phone was ringing and you laid your keys down in an opposite place to where you normally put them. Dementia is putting keys somewhere that you never would have put them, in a very odd place. So that's the difference between those two things. The thing that I also have picked up on in the years preceding in my practice has been overspending. That is a big one, where you buy 2 or 3 of the same thing because you don't remember that you bought it, maybe, or you just feel like you need more than one of something. That is something that I have noticed across I've been doing this for 25 years, 26 years now, and that is something I have noticed fairly consistently, that they buy 3 deodorants, or they buy 8 tubes of toothpaste, not all at the same time, but every time they go to the grocery store they buy toothpaste. Or they start spending in a way that is incongruent with the way that they have been spending. They will order a lot of things off of QVC. They will order mail order kind of things. They can be easily talked into spending money that they don't need to spend on things they don't need to have. That kind of thing. It's like that impulse control that sits right here in your frontal lobe, and frontal lobe can be one of the first things impacted. Is that impulsivity is uncontrolled now, whereas maybe beforehand they were able to keep a handle on their spending, but now they're just not. I have seen people that have never been gamblers turn into gamblers. you know, and I don't know really what that is other than the, you know, the impulse control is assaulted, but that is an early stage thing that I have seen in my practice. The other thing that I have seen that other people have also seen is list making. They make copious amounts of lists and have all kinds of calendars, and they are so afraid of missing something, of, you know, forgetting something, that they just write everything down, which, you know, is a coping mechanism, and it's a compensatory strategy, which is fine. It's okay to have lots of lists, but it's just one of those things that you see. So those are some of the early stages, early symptoms. Those are some of the early symptoms. The early stages, you know, stage 1 is no cognitive impairment. Stage 2 is mild cognitive impairment. And, you know, you see in the early stages, people are still able to work. They're still able to drive. They're still able to, you know, have a social relationship with their friends of many years. They're able to attend church and different functions that they want to attend, and it's still engage in. So there's not a lot of difference between the person they were and the person they are, other than they may tell the same story several times in a row. They may forget people's names, those kinds of things. And you're going to see that manifest in their life, in their conversation, in their actions. They might not be able to manage the checkbook anymore. You may have to take over that, but there are still things that they absolutely can do in 1, 2, and 3. And I allow in every stage for them to be as independent as absolutely possible, because once you take something away from somebody, that's the last time they'll do it. If you take over, let's say in 4 or 5, if you take over buttoning their blouse, that will be the last time they button their blouse. They cannot learn new information, and if old patterns are taken away from them, they can't pick back up on that. So, you know, don't cause, you know, what the term is excess disability. Allow them to do as much as they can do for as long as they can do it. And that's getting into the deeper stages. But I thought that would be interesting to mention. Okay, I think that's it. Leave me some questions down below. I'm very responsive to these questions. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is down in the middle of our series, but this is going to be this, you know, we're going to talk about a topic that relates to every letter of the alphabet in this series, ABCs of Dementia FAQs, and then we'll probably start another series. We have a support group on Facebook called Dementia with Grace, Caregiver Support Group. Love to have you over there. Love to have your experience represented, for your problems and your solutions. You know, we brainstorm about things that come up. You know, and some people have, oh yeah, that happened to me, and this is what we did, and it's a solution right away. Sometimes we have to brainstorm, but we absolutely do. I stay in that group, you know, answering questions and trying to encourage and motivate folks. That's what I do. The book is Dementia with Grace, A New Positive Way of Dealing with Behaviors in People with Dementia. It is available on Amazon, and the link is down below, as an ebook or a paperback book. I am available for consulting for facilities and families, and the way to get in touch with me is down below. It's Vicky, V-I-C-K-Y, at dementiawithgrace.com. And we can video conference from anywhere in the world, and I can help you privately with anything, any specific problem that you're having, and I'm cheaper than a plumber. I love y'all, and I love doing this, and I'm so excited that people are getting something from these videos and from my book and from the group. It is just so important that we honor the people with dementia, that we understand where they're coming from, we understand who they are now with this disease, while we honor the people they have been. And it's important to me to make the journey just that much easier. It's not an easy journey, it's a hard journey, and it is going to be a hard journey, but it can be made somewhat easier by understanding the process, understanding the disease, and understanding that we are just humans taking care of humans. And we can do that, right? Right. All right, I will talk to y'all in the next video. All right, love y'all. Bye. Mwah.